Okay, a very short video on ACCA SBL, Strategic Business Leader. Sometimes students, they find it challenging to pass the exam. I'm not going to discuss all of the problems which students they face, but just one thing, one error, one mistake, which is very common among students. Because most of you people, you go, you take exam, you attempt almost all questions, you write a lot of content, you expect that you would pass, but when you come back and you see the result surprises you, unfortunately. The reason is that you don't understand that whom are you addressing to and what role are you playing. Remember, this is strategic business leader. It is professional level paper. In most questions, they assign you the role of a consultant. They assign you the role of a senior management, and you are reporting to probably the board of directors. Maybe you are reporting to the shareholders. Maybe you are reporting to your client. Sometimes if you are a consultant, you are reporting to a client. Now, the thing is that students, they overwrite. They write those things which they know and probably which are correct, but which are not relevant. Now, imagine that if, like, put yourself in a real life situation there where you are reporting to the board. I mean, it's a board meeting, or maybe you are reporting to the shareholder. They ask you one simple question, which could have been answered in like 3 lines or maybe in 5 lines. And you start speaking unnecessarily whatever you know. I know that you have been preparing for this exam. We know that you have learned or read so much content, and probably you are excited to show, to prove that you know many things, but that's not the way. The thing is that you don't have to write down or speak whatever you know. You actually have to respond what they have asked. They asked you that give your answer in form of one single slide or maybe a short brief note. When they say briefing note or a single slide, and you start writing a lot of content which is unnecessary. So there are two mistakes which students they do. Number one, okay, first of all, when you start, you should think like that, which role I am playing, what is expected of me, and to whom I am reporting to. So this communication, whenever you do communication, it is very important to understand the other party's perspective or the other party's position. And then your tone and your content and your words will change automatically. So first thing, you understand the context in which you and the other party are. The second thing is that you write a lot. So you make two types of mistake. Either you are writing something which is not relevant, or maybe you are writing something which is relevant, but you are writing unnecessary. So you need to pay attention that. So pay attention to the question requirement. Take 5 or 10 minutes time. You've got 3 hours. The writing, the content which you have to produce, it does not take 3 hours. Trust you me, almost like 25% of the time you should be spending on thinking or answer drafting. So when I read a question or I read a scenario, and then I sit back and I think that how should I proceed? Because I see the marks which they have allocated. It is 5 marks or it is 8 marks. And I see the vocabulary. Does it say, a brief note or describe or explain or justify or whatever? Pay attention to the vocabulary, pay attention to the marks. Based on that, you make up your mind that how much you are going to, how to say, content, how much content are you going to produce? And of course, before start producing the content, you should think about what is the relevant topic, from where the examiner is coming from, what is the expectations, and based on that, some topics might confuse you that should I be writing about comparative analysis, or is it about market analysis? So you need to make up your mind that what exactly is the context, what exactly is the scenario, and what is the question. So once you identify that where you should be starting from, then before you start, you also should keep in mind the end point, that how am I going to take this discussion? What will come first, what will come next, and how am I going to close it or conclude it? So this all is part of the planning process. Okay, so we call it plan your answer. But keep in mind, you have to be brief. You cannot go unnecessarily long. You cannot imagine that like I said before, if you are speaking to your shareholder who is always short of time, he asks you one simple question and you start writing a 3-page long letter. You know what he will do? He will throw out this letter and probably throw out you as well. Nobody has time to listen or review or read something which is unnecessary, which has not been asked. You might be excited to prove that you know a lot, but you have to control your emotions, and you only have to give that part of the answer, that part which has been asked. So avoid unnecessary writing. There is no concept. Please take out this misconception from your mind that if I write long, I will get more marks. It is very much possible that somebody write, 2 pages or probably one long page, and somebody writes one paragraph. One paragraph might get more marks than one long unnecessary page. So this is one common mistake I have seen with many of the students. They try to, just in order to prove something or in order to write something more, they try to write long. There is nothing as, because it's not your IELTS essay, it's not your GMAT essay where they say write down 500 words, where they say write down 300 words. The beauty of writing always, the beauty of writing is that you convey the message in the minimum possible words. Even if it is a longer question, even then you should try to say, okay, let's suppose it's a 15 marks question. And somebody is putting 5 points on 3 pages and the other person puts the same 5 points in 2 pages. Of course, with 2 pages, 5 points will win. So, I mean, that's what you say that, the class when you achieve the writing skills where you are able to use minimum words and convey the full message. So just keep this thing in mind. There are many other things, tips and techniques, but this is one common error which I thought that I should be sharing with you.